Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and I'm finally getting around to giving guys my thoughts of episode 1 of Ashoka. Now I know the show's over by now, and there's 8 episodes, and I have a stream up when I was a guest on Potato Raven's channel, where we reviewed episodes 3 through 5. So we'll be reviewing episodes 1, 2, and then 6 through 8. In this episode, or video, we're going to review the first episode of Ashoka. Now, I gotta say, leading into this show, I was the most excited. Because I think I was the most excited for that Andor show. But I will say, I think I was the most interested in what they were going to do with this show. I had like all these theories. I wasn't surprised if they were going to go the route of, hey, we're going to try to find Ezra, which means essentially, at the very least, you would have had to watch the last 2 episodes of Star Wars Rebels to kind of get why, like, Ezra's gone, why Thrawn's gone. So, I can say as a person who watched all 8 episodes, yeah, definitely watching the Star Wars Rebels will definitely help to understand certain aspects, for sure. Because otherwise you'll be like, what does this mean? What does that mean? So yeah. That and few episodes of Clone Wars. But anyways, Star Wars Ahsoka Episode 1, Master and Apprentice. Essentially starts out with Balin and his apprentice. They're part of this New Republic ship, and I'm liking how the intro set the scene up, how like the Empire fell, the New Republic took its place essentially, and already there's some forces that are threatening the New Republic, if you get my drift. And, so, like, Balin is a Jedi survivor, essentially, and he has essentially joined the dark side without going, like, I guess, like, full dark side. Because, like, one way I'm, like, saying this, was a lot of people are saying this, because the color of his lightsaber isn't, like, this, right? Where, like, if you light it up, pretending that there's the, white light in there. Like, there's usually a white light in the center. And, of course, in this case, it would be green. Well, in Balin's, the center is red, or it's kind of like, center's kind of like reddish, or oranges, and the rest is like fades into orange or red. So like, I guess that's supposed to symbolize that him and his apprentice or dabble in the dark side, but they haven't been gone full dark side yet. So Balin and his apprentice kills everyone on board, essentially rescuing Morgan Elspeth, was that woman that Ashoka fights in Mando season 2, essentially. Morgan Elspeth says that mentions how they have to watch out for Ahsoka Tano, and then we see Ahsoka on this planet exploring this like relic cave thing that has some of the Night Sisters on it, and essentially she finds the star map, which I like. When I found out that was a star map, I was like, oh, yes. Because admittedly, like, I played Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. I've yet to complete them, but I've played them. Because thankfully, they are on the Switch. I was never able to play them when they first came out, but thank God they're Switch and they ported them on. Now I'm just waiting for them to do that on the PlayStation so I can buy on the PlayStation and stream it too. Anyways. So essentially, Ahsoka has to run, like, gets the star map, gets in a fight with some droids, after, which kind of reminds me of the General Grievous' guards a bit. Um, After like Slice and Dice and View, they do self destruct, which Ahsoka runs. Hin Yang, which is the droid that we saw in the Clone Wars when Ahsoka and Yoda helped the younglings get their kyber crystals and form their lightsabers. Was Hin Yang is a droid that's older than Yoda, who essentially helps with the Jedi journey, essentially making their own lightsaber. He's kind of like with Ahsoka now. So he essentially like flies this ship that Ahsoka has, which I don't even know the name. I guess that's supposed to be the not the Mantis. The Mantis is Cal Kestis is the Ghost, or does like as Hera still have the Ghost? I forget. Like, not I should say I forget, but I'm kind of confused on the name of Ahsoka's ship. But anyways, hey, the droid that's voiced by David Tennant, he essentially saves Ahsoka and flies out of there. And then Ahsoka is called back to the New Republic, where Hera lets Ahsoka know that, yeah, Morgan Elsbeth got kidnapped by like two people who are strong in the Force, but she doesn't know if they're Jedi or not, understandably. And so, reluctantly, Ahsoka essentially calls in Sabine Wren, who missed the celebration in Ezra's name, because everyone at this point really believes that Ezra is dead, and it's presumed, like, for the most of the galaxy, it's like presumed that Thrawn is dead too, but Ahsoka essentially says, but his death was never confirmed. Kind of a little foreshadow of what could happen in the season. And I say season because I've heard there's the potential of season 2, but it hasn't been greenlit yet. So season, series, whatever. I'm just gonna go season to be for the hell of it. So like if there's a possibility of like Thrawn being alive, of course that means there's a possibility of Ezra being alive. And so some says like when like we saw like Sabine for the first time out running those New Republic officers, that she was being too immature or whatever. And I have to say, this might be like one of those times where I'll actually come to her defense, because like that was the day when like they freed Lothal, which is essentially the series finale of Star Wars Rebels, right? And that day, Ezra went missing along with Thrawn. So like, your friend went missing, presumed dead. That's like what, 7-ish years after the events of like Rebels, or what, 8? I what's it like? Do any of you guys know like what is the timeline between the Battle of Lothal and the Battle of Yavin? No, not Yavin. Sorry, Battle of Lothal and the Battle of Endor. Is it in the same year, or is the Battle of Endor like a year after the events of Lothal? Because I'm honestly confused. So it has to be like what, 7-8 years. Gap between Rebels and Ahsoka, about, give or take. Guess I think like Mando season 1 was like 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi. I think Mando season 3 was like 8. So if that's the case, then it has to, like, the events of Ahsoka has to be like 8-9 years after the events of the Battle of Lothal that we saw in the series finale of Rebels. Anyways, so my point is, she thought that like at this point she thinks her friend is dead. He's missing and she thinks he's dead. Rough day for her. Probably doesn't want you to have to mentally relive what happened on that day. And to a certain extent, I can like, at least I can back her up on that, because let's say like I'm gonna use a real life example, right? I've known this guy for the family. Out of respect for the family, I won't reveal his name. But I had this best friend growing up. He was like a little brother to me. I was like 3 years older than him. Unfortunately, by the time he reached to be 8 years old, sadly he was killed. He was shot. Like now I'm like in the space where I like, yeah, sure, I miss him, but I can like talk about it without like me feeling I have to cry or whatever, right? But if you like told me, hey, I would like you like a year, and this happened in 2008, and he was 8, right? So if you told me, hey, Phil, like a year, like in the year 2009, or like between the ages, like time of 2009 and 12, especially, I would like you to give us like be here to celebrate your friend, right? But you have to like be in the forefront, right? I probably wouldn't be. I probably wouldn't be in the headspace to do that. As much as I love my friend, who was like a little brother to me, I probably wouldn't be in the headspace between the years of 2009, a year after his death, and 2012. Because that was like literally. Because I'm the baby, but that was like literally you losing a little brother. So like, losing a close friend and having to speak on that and reliving those events, thinking, in Sabine's case, thinking that her friend was dead, that'd be incredibly tough for her. So, as a person who had a actual like friend, real life friend who is unfortunately dead, that yeah would give the world just to see him again, so I can give him a hug and pray him back. Yeah, I can see why she would act the way she acted. You guys can't get mad at me, all you guys want, but I can understand Sabine's points, which is why I am like saying her how she reacted was actually understandable. And for those of you who doesn't understand who criticizes her, I pray you guys never have a real life experience that you can relate to that, because my god, that's like tough. Anyways, and then we see like Sabine going to her Ezra's old place where we first seen him in like the beginning part of Star Wars Rebels. She has this loth cat, and she replaced the message that Ezra pushed out, right? Record for her, which in that message he calls says that Sabine was like his sister to him. I mean, I'm not saying that's like far fetched, but that's even like hard to like grasp for me. Because I feel like Ezra for like 90% of Rebels flirted with Sabine. Was at least like in the first season he definitely flirted with Sabine. Second season he kind of did less. Third and fourth season I want to say like maybe he like didn't do as much. Maybe like when he like quote unquote flirted, it was him like just messing with her. But like, I mean, I'm not saying that him viewing Sabine as a sister isn't out of the woods. It's why we saw like towards the end of the series him essentially not really like flirting with her as much, really, if at all. Was I have to rewatch Rebels to make sure I'm not making shit up unintentionally. But like, I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to see like, okay, Ezra actually viewed Sabine as a sister. Maybe Sabine actually viewed Ezra as a little annoying brother. Sure, I can believe that, but not the other way around. It's kind of hard for me, is what I'm saying. Anyways. And then essentially, Ahsoka sees Sabine, tells Sabine, "Hey, I think I found a way to find Ezra." And then feels we see those two connecting. Uh, and then essentially, Ahsoka has to go in the cockpit once she because Hera has a message for her. Ahsoka comes out and Sabine's gone after Ahsoka told Sabine to stay on the ship because like the reason why Sabine and Ahsoka met is because Ahsoka needed Sabine's eye to help figure out what was in the star map to help them unlock it, right? And at this point, Sabine and Ahsoka is now on the best terms. So like Sabine leaving Ahsoka's ship definitely says like I guess it was like a slap to the face to Ahsoka in a sense and made the strain even more strenuous, if that's even a word, strenuous. So essentially we see Sabine going to her like quarters, try to figure out the mystery in the star map. She starts to figure shit out, and then like Balin's apprentice comes there because Morgan Elsbeth told Balin to send his apprentice to Lothal because I will lure Ahsoka out essentially too. Sabine gets into a fight with two droids, defeats one of them, the other escapes to Balin's apprentice, and with Ezra's lightsaber, Sabine fights the apprentice, right? And gets stabbed. And by all accounts, you would think that she would be dead, right? You would honestly, genuinely think she would die. Would be dead. But in Disney Star Wars, when people get stabbed by a lightsaber, you don't die. Qui-Gon got like the bad end of the stick because the Phantom Menace came out before Disney bought Star Wars. So like, if Disney bought Star Wars, he probably would have survived the offense of the prequels. Let's be real. And probably Obi-Wan too. If A New Hope came out. But like, I'm saying that because like, it's like, it's not really me trying to create any spoilers for the episode 2. But it's like me saying because like, for example, like in Rise of Palpatine, as I like to call Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, which was about Rey being who found out she was a Palpatine. Rey, in her last duel with Kylo Ren, stabs Kylo Ren, and the Force heals him, and he survives. Reva, that Inquisitor in Star Wars and the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, got stabbed by Anakin when he was initiating Order 66 at the Jedi Temple. Somehow survived because she was a kid at the time, and then jumping like 19 years later, she 25 years later, I want to say now, I don't know, but when she fights Darth Vader again, she gets stabbed in the stomach by Vader, and somehow she survives twice in the show, essentially, by Vader. So my point is, when you get stabbed by a lightsaber under Disney Star Wars, the chances of you dying is unlikely. Is really unlikely. I mean, yeah, you dying after getting lightsaber stabbing is unlikely. Because the chances of you surviving is higher. Which, I will say my thoughts whether or not Sabine got the Disney Star Wars treatment or the Qui-Gon Jinn treatment until episode 2. But those of you who seen all the series knows how it went. So that said, I actually enjoyed episode 1, and I had to rewatch it so I can refresh my memory to remember everything that happened. I really enjoyed it. I actually really have enjoyed it. I definitely would have to say, after watching all eight episodes, I would say this off the bat. If you guys have yet to see Star Wars Rebels, I highly recommend watching Star Wars Rebels. Watch the first season, the second season. I don't really feel the third season's relevant all too much in terms of the overall arc for Ahsoka, but you guys can watch episode season 3. But season 4 is also I would say relevant to watch towards the Ahsoka show. So seasons 1, 2, and 3, seasons 1, 2, and 4, definitely watch for Rebels to get an understanding of the show. And then watching the Morris arc, season 1, the Clone Wars movie, and maybe the last season of the Clone Wars, plus the last 4 episodes of season 5 of Clone Wars is probably all that you need to really understand Ahsoka. I mean, if you want to watch the entire series, go right ahead of Clone Wars, because Ahsoka's in more episodes than I just said, but you definitely have to watch at the very least the majority of Rebels and some episodes of Clone Wars to understand all the puns that Ahsoka makes. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I think it's a bad thing if you haven't watched Clone Wars or Rebels. People like me who watch Clone Wars or Rebels, it makes no difference. So anyways, what do you guys think about episode 1? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. Be kind to one another, and may the force be with us all.